Alrighty guys, and welcome back to another LEGO video from Brick by Brick. And today we have a little bit of a collection going on here. And this is, I'd say it's pretty obvious because of the color scheme. But these are all of the ghost dragons that appear over the entire possession wave. So, obviously, the big one here is the Morrow Dragon from, the Morrow Dragon set. And I wanted to see what they all look like, but this one is, less similar than the others. I kind of just threw it in there for sake of completeness. But I really wanted to take a look at the four, secondary build dragons, just because there are some interesting things about them. And you'll notice Ninjago has kind of been moving back to its roots a bit with the whole dragon thing after that rebooted thingy. I don't know why that hat looks weird. But, we haven't gotten nearly this many dragons in one wave since, like, 2011. So, I figured that it would be cool to take a look at what they've been doing with their dragons. Obviously, the Morrow Dragon has these nice cloth wings, which I think are a good way to go for the nice big dragons, but the smaller ones, obviously, you can't really do that. So, you can hear my thoughts, really, on this big dragon in the Morrow Dragon Attack Set review, which I think I did, right? Seems like something I did. If I didn't, I'll be sure to do it soon. You guys can let me know. Maybe it would be worth going back and reviewing again, just because I've improved the format of reviews a bit. But, yeah, looks cool. But we're going to take it out of the way, just because it's not what I really am here for. So what I'm really here for is to take a look at these ones and see how or what is the, what is their, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the, what can they do with a small dragons on a small scale? And obviously, their small scale dragons have changed in since the recent introduction of these Mixel style ball joints. And I say recent, it was after Ninjago started that these were introduced. But it's been a little while now. So you can see we have several varying scales. We got one, this is the Morrow Dragon, which is a really big scale. This is the second biggest. It's actually pretty large, but piece count wise it's a lot smaller than the Morrow Dragon. Size wise is actually kinda not too far apart. This is the next largest, it's medium size, I'd say. This one's actually almost as large as that last one, but smaller scale. Like, it's smaller, but the wingspan's almost as large. And then this one is the smallest of the dragons. So we'll start with that. This is from the Cuyler Dragon set. Or not the Cuyler Dragon. This is similar to the Cuyler Dragon set, but it is a build that appears in the Blaster Bike set. And, it is a secondary build. It looks alright. I think the head is the weak part of this, but you can still see that they've improved it over, old dragons. It's not awful, but it's not that great either. I like the little tooth pieces that they use to kind of give it, so you can't see everything from the side, but the eyes are a little bit lacking. They use those quite a bit for the possession dragons. Like, they use it in two of them, and I think the main reason is just because they have red eyes, and I guess it looks like eyes, but it's not perfect from all angles. Like that, it looks a little weird. But it does have decent posability, which I think is nice with these small dragons. The back tail can turn So as far as posability goes, this one has a decent amount. The wings, bend like that, which is important. And it doesn't look super unfinished. It looks like a finished build, just not... Like, there's nothing that they just left out. They've just downsized quite a bit. And they didn't... This is the worst of the four, I'd say. They just didn't, fully... They didn't expand upon this. This is just the simplest of the four. This one, though, I like quite a bit. This is the Cuyler Dragon Polybag, so it makes sense because it's not a secondary build. This is the only build in the set. What I really like about this one is the wingspan, just the size. You get a really good area covered for a tiny polybag. And the face here looks great. And also the Cuyler Dragon is another small dragon that's coming out, or that came out. I don't have it yet, so it's not in this video. But the face looks a whole lot worse on that one than this one. I think this is a great looking face. Even though the eyes are super simple, overall it's a very simple build for the head. I think it looks excellent. And the wings are on ball joints, so they can move pretty easily. And you got the tail, which is jointed, and you can rotate that. So excellent posability, excellent head shaping. I think this looks pretty great. The only downside to this one is those gray colored ball joints, because they're not dark gray or anything. They're showing. I think if you swapped it around and had the light gray on the wings and the gray on the body, like the dark gray on the body, I think it would look a bit better, but still, not perfect. But that's fine because it's not a fully developed dragon. I think it looks good as a little army dragon builder. Here we have the dragon from Ronin Rex. And this one, I actually really like quite a bit. Like, it's grown on me since I got it. We do have ball joints for the wings, so you can, move them all around. You can go forward, backwards. That's really good. And I like the piece they use for this wing. It's a very ghosty color. But I think the wings on this one look the best out of the... Maybe the second best after the big one. Good tail posability. It would have been nice to get ball joints, but they obviously don't have them in the right color, so it wouldn't look as good, I think. But it would pose better. So, look good. The head, though, not my favorite of the heads, but I think it looks good. I think this really shows, the variety of looks. Like, just this collection shows the variety of looks they can get for heads at small scales. Obviously, you got some misses, and the Cuyler Dragon, that's another miss. But this one, I think is pretty good. Like the beak shape there. And just the center detailing. I don't like the teeth on this one. I think that's the only downside. But overall, and like the seating area looks nice. I think overall this is a nice dragon to add to the little collection. But so far, we've been looking at really small dragons. This is a pretty big dragon. It's still a secondary build, believe it or not, from the Final Flight of Destiny's Bounty. I think that this could have been a set on its own. Probably wouldn't have sold too well because it's not a very desirable build. And this is the biggest downside. This head is just... This is a big miss. Like, I think this is worse than the smallest one that I said so far was the bad one. I don't know what the heck that's supposed to look like. It does not look like a face to me. Like, the eyes I kind of get, but this, especially with the mouth open, I think it would have been better for them to just keep this one closed. Because it looks at least half decent like that. But when you open that up, it just looks awful. I like the teeth a little better in this one than the last one, but still, yeah. I guess it's because the rest of it's very bad. But the great thing that we've got here, I like these chains, and the posability is good. The neck's a little weak too, though, in terms of, design. However, I really like the wings on this one. And you got these nice big wings. We have these claws on the ends, which can, grab things. We've got these chains here, which obviously are the reins, kind of, for the dragon, which it's nice to see them including these more and more because, I don't know, I think they're just a cool little feature to add. Kind of makes it more playable. The seating section is also really good. And then the legs on the back uses these dragon leg pieces, which, obviously for bigger dragons. But this one actually has legs. And the tail is nice and very flexible, which is a good thing that a lot of dragons have been getting. Whoops. They've been getting the mixable ball joint tail treatment. But this one, I think, does very well in the posability department. And it does have the ball joints, kinda, on the legs. But it can, and it has a ratcheted joint in the body there, so it can get poses like this. It's meant to stand on two legs. That's kind of the whole gimmick with this dragon. And I think it gets some good poses. I think it's nice that we can get secondary build dragons that are this playable. And I think that is, like, this dragon, if we're going with, bad guy secondary build dragons, is probably the best that they could have done. I would have improved the face, but that's kind of just me. But overall, I think that this is a good, showing for Ninjago Possession 2015. I think it's nice that they've been incorporating a lot more dragons, because I think a lot of Ninjago fans like dragon builds. I think dragon builds are, mostly found in Ninjago sets. Like when you think of a Lego dragon, you're usually thinking of a Ninjago set because that's most of what's on the market today. However, the Elves theme has been producing some excellent dragons. They don't exactly look as Lego-like, because that's the other thing that's great about these dragons. These heads are all completely brick-built. They previously had, certain dragons from 2012, 2011, and 2013 too. Those dragons had like specially molded heads, and you can see one example of that right there, the golden dragon head. And those heads kind of limited the designs of the dragons. I think now we're getting a lot more different, unique dragons, like the Titanium Dragon, Master Blue Dragon, Jay's Elemental Dragon. And I think we'll keep getting these excellent dragons from Ninjago. That's the thing that separates it from Elves, is the, unique Lego designed heads instead of the specially molded ones that Elves has. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at the Possession Dragon mini builds. I think that they're an interesting collection. They make I think the best part about them is that they make an excellent army. Kind of seeing you can pose up all these, and if you just buy a bunch of Cuyler Dragon sets, you'll have a big army of bad guys. It just adds mass to the villain army, which in some Ninjago waves, it's been like more ninja vehicles than bad guys, which isn't, it's not as playable, because if you get them all, then you have like 47 ninja to one bad guy, which isn't really the best. And sometimes the bad guys have like no vehicles, and it's just like a bunch of figures versus like every ninja has a vehicle. So I think having more of these, bad guy vehicles / creatures is a good thing, and I hope that they continue with more, smaller bad guy builds that are consistent size. And I think that these are all, you know, great little builds. I wouldn't buy the sets for them, specifically for them, that is. Except for maybe the Morrow Dragon. But, I think it's great to just get these as, you know, little bonuses in a bunch of different sets. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which one of these dragons is your favorite. I'd have to lean towards either that one right there, or this one just for the posability. Morrow Dragon isn't really being counted. Obviously, if it were, it would be my favorite. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you did, or let me know if you did. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye, guys.